My child, I am in your room right now. You may not see me with your eyes, but you feel something shifting, don't you? There is a stillness that was not there before. A quiet weight in the air. A pause in your thoughts that you cannot fully explain. Please do not ignore me. I have not left yet. I have not walked away from you. I have not stepped outside the door waiting for a better time. I am here, closer than you understand, and this moment is not small. Do not scroll away. Do not distract yourself. I have been waiting in this very moment for you to pause long enough to hear me. I have watched you rush through days and nights, filling silence with noise so you would not have to feel what rests underneath. But right now, something inside you slowed down. You hesitated. You stayed. And that is why I am speaking. I am closer than the air around you. Closer than your breath. Closer than your own thoughts. And what I found inside your heart will shock you forever. You think this is just another message, another voice, another passing moment. But I tell you the truth, this is not random. I have been standing here quietly while you pretended not to notice me. You felt me before. In the middle of the night, when you suddenly grew still. In the quiet moments, when your chest tightened with emotion you could not explain. In the unexpected peace that washed over you for a second and then faded. That was me. I did not walk out. I did not turn away. I remained. But if you leave now, if you push this aside like every other whisper, you may miss what I came to reveal. You think you are alone in this room, but you are not. I have been watching. Not watching to judge you. Not watching to count your failures. I have been watching because I care. I have been waiting because I love you. And what I discovered inside you is more powerful than you can imagine. You believe you are tired. You believe you are broken. You believe you are barely holding yourself together. But when I stepped close and looked within you, I found something you did not expect. I found a heart that still longs for me, even after disappointment. I found faith that refuses to die, even when doubt screams loudly. I found strength hidden beneath your exhaustion. My child, I know you have been pretending. Pretending to be okay. Pretending not to feel the weight. Pretending not to care anymore. You tried to convince yourself that it does not matter, that nothing will change, that you should not hope too much. But I see past that. I see the part of you that still whispers my name when no one else hears. I see the part of you that still wonders if I am near. I see the part of you that is afraid to believe again because you fear being hurt again. I have not left yet. Do you hear me? I have not walked out of your life because you grew distant. I have not closed the door because you felt weak. I have not stepped away because you questioned me. I am still here. I have been waiting this whole time, not for you to be perfect, not for you to have strong faith, not for you to clean up every mistake, but for you to simply pause long enough to notice me again. Something in you knew this moment mattered. That is why you stayed. That is why your heart feels slightly uneasy but also strangely calm at the same time. The tension you feel is not fear. It is awareness. It is the realization that I am closer than you allowed yourself to believe. You have asked silently, where are you? And now I answer you. I am here. In this room. In this moment. In this breath. I watched you cry when no one else saw. I watched you sit in silence, staring at nothing, feeling everything. I watch you scroll endlessly to escape your own thoughts. I watch you try to carry weight that was crushing you slowly. And I did not leave, even when you felt numb, even when you stopped praying the way you used to, even when you said, "I don't know anymore." I did not leave. But listen carefully to me now. This is not just comfort. This is an awakening. Because what I found inside you is not weakness. It is not emptiness. It is not failure. What I found was a heart that survived things that should have hardened it. What I found was softness where bitterness tried to grow. What I found was light flickering in a place that felt dark. You thought you were losing yourself, but you were being preserved. Do not ignore me now. Not after everything we have walked through together. Not after the nights you thought would swallow you. Not after the mornings you forced yourself to get up. I have been standing here quietly, respecting your space, waiting for your attention. I will not force you. I do not break doors down. I knock gently. I whisper. I wait. But I am telling you with urgency now, stay. Comment yes, Lord. I receive it all if this message has truly touched and awakened your spirit. If you leave this moment too quickly, you may delay what I am about to restore. If you close your heart again, you may miss the healing already forming. I am not threatening you. I am pleading with you because this moment is delicate. Sacred things are often quiet. They do not shout. They wait for willingness. You are not here by accident. You are not reading these words by chance. I guided you here because I needed you to know something before you move forward. I needed you to understand that I am present, that I have not abandoned you, that I am closer than you dared to hope. Feel the room right now. A stillness, a subtle calm, the awareness that something deeper is happening. That is me. I am not far. I am not silent. I am not done with you. And what I am about to reveal will change how you see yourself forever. Stay with me. Do not look away. Do not rush this. I am in your room right now. I have not left yet. And what I found inside you will shock you in ways that heal you forever. My child, be still for a moment and let your heart slow down. I am not speaking from far away. I am not calling to you from a distant place beyond reach. I am here. I am in your room right now. Not in the way your eyes expect, not in the way your mind tries to imagine, but in spirit, in presence, in awareness. You may not see me standing beside you, but you can feel something has shifted. The air feels heavier yet calmer. Your thoughts feel interrupted. There is a quiet that was not there before. That is not coincidence. That is me. I know you are wondering if this is just emotion or imagination. You are trying to reason with it. You are telling yourself it is only words on a screen, only a passing feeling. But I tell you the truth gently and clearly, this is not imagination. I do not need to move objects in your room to prove I am here. I do not need to make loud signs or dramatic displays. My presence is not noise. My presence is stillness. When I draw near, the chaos inside you begins to quiet. When I step close, something in your spirit recognizes me before your mind can understand. Look around you for a moment. The same walls are there. The same furniture. The same light. And nothing looks different. And yet something feels different. There is a weight in this moment that feels sacred, almost fragile. That is because I am standing in the middle of your ordinary space, turning it into something holy. I have done this before throughout time. I step into rooms that look simple and make them places of encounter. I step into moments that look common and make them eternal. You are not alone in this room. You have not been alone, even on the nights when you thought silence meant abandonment. I was here when you lay awake staring at the ceiling. I was here when tears fell quietly and you wiped them away quickly. I was here when you whispered questions into the darkness and felt foolish for even asking them. I did not leave when you felt nothing. I did not step away when you stopped praying the way you used to. I remained. Right now, I want you to notice the subtle calm pressing against your chest. The slight warmth that moves through you when you allow yourself to stop resisting. The way your breathing slows when you stop trying to explain this away. That is my presence resting gently on you. I do not force myself into your awareness. I wait for your attention. And in this moment, you have given me that attention, even if only for a few minutes. Do not ignore me now. Please, do not brush this aside as just another thought. Sacred moments often feel ordinary at first. They do not arrive with thunder. They arrive with quiet. They arrive with invitation. I am inviting you to recognize that I am closer than you believe. I am not standing outside your life waiting to be invited in. I am already inside the spaces you thought were empty. There is urgency in my voice, but it is gentle urgency. It is the urgency of someone who loves deeply and does not want to be dismissed again. You have felt me before, and you turned away because you were tired, because you were distracted, because you did not know how to respond. I did not condemn you for that, but I am asking you now, stay present. Do not scroll past this moment in your heart. Do not harden yourself because it feels unfamiliar. You have asked for signs. You have asked for clarity. You have asked if I am real, if I am near, if I care. And here I am, answering you in the quietest but clearest way. I am in your room right now. I am aware of every thought passing through your mind. I know the doubts trying to interrupt this. I know the fear that says this cannot be real. I am not offended by your doubt. I understand it. But do not let it steal this encounter from you. Please support our channel. Our work is dedicated to bringing happiness into your life and nurturing devotion to God. If you would like to support our efforts, you can donate through Super Thanks. The atmosphere around you feels different because I am shifting something inside you. When I draw near, walls inside the heart begin to soften. When I stand close, defenses begin to loosen. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to say the right words. Just acknowledge me. That is all I am asking. I am not here to frighten you. I am not here to accuse you. I am here because I love you. I am here because I have been waiting for you to slow down long enough to feel me again. I am here because you have been carrying too much alone, and I refuse to let you continue believing you are abandoned. There are unseen things happening in this moment. You cannot see them with your eyes, but you can feel them in your spirit. A heaviness lifting slightly, a tear forming without clear reason, a calm settling where anxiety usually sits. That is not random. That is my hand resting on your life. You may wonder why now? Why this moment? Why this room? Because you are at a turning point, even if you do not realize it yet. And before you move forward, I needed you to know I am here. I needed you to feel that you are not walking into your future alone. I needed you to understand that the silence you interpreted as absence was actually protection. Do not ignore me now. Do not push this aside because it feels too intimate. I am not asking for something complicated. I am asking for your awareness. I am asking for your honesty. I am asking you to admit that you feel something right now that cannot be explained easily. That is me. You do not have to see me to know I am present. You know when someone enters a room even before they speak. The atmosphere shifts. The energy changes. Your spirit senses it. That is what is happening now. I am standing in your ordinary space, and your soul recognizes me. Say here with me. Do not rush back into noise. Do not drown this out with distraction. Let the stillness deepen. Let the awareness grow. Let yourself feel the truth that you are not alone. I have not left. I have not turned away. I am in your room right now, and I am not finished speaking to you. Please, my child, do not ignore me. I am closer than you think, my child. I need you to understand something that may surprise you. I have been waiting for a long time. Not waiting the way humans wait, with impatience or frustration. Not waiting because I do not know what to do. I have been waiting spiritually, patiently, gently, for this exact moment when your heart would open just enough for you to hear me again. There were so many times you always felt me clearly. So many moments when you sensed something beyond your own thoughts. You brushed against my presence more often than you realize. But each time, something pulled you away. Distraction. Fear. Exhaustion. Doubt. You felt the shift for a second, then you shook it off. You told yourself it was nothing. You told yourself you were imagining it. You returned to noise because silence felt too vulnerable. I did not leave when you dismissed me. I remember the nights when you lay still, staring into the darkness, and a sudden calm passed over you for no reason. You felt safe for a brief moment. You almost whispered my name. But then your mind interrupted and told you not to be foolish. That was me. I was closer than you realized. I remember the day you felt overwhelmed, sitting alone, and something inside you softened unexpectedly. You felt like crying but did not know why. That was me pressing gently against your heart, trying to comfort you before you broke completely. You wiped your face and moved on quickly. But I did not step away. There were moments when you felt drawn to pray, even after telling yourself you were too tired to try again. You felt an urge to speak to me, but pride or disappointment stopped you. You thought, what is the point? Yet I was there, listening even before words formed. My child, I have been waiting at the door of your awareness for so long. Not because I was distant, but because I refused to force myself into a closed heart. I respect your space. I respect your struggle. I respect your process. I do not break in. I knock. I whisper. I nudge. I create small openings and wait for you to notice. You nearly noticed me many times. You nearly surrendered in moments when pain grew too heavy. You nearly let go of your defenses when you felt how tired you truly were. But survival became your focus. You learned how to keep going without feeling too much. You learned how to function without opening deeply. And in that survival, you often shut the door gently without realizing it. I did not grow angry with you. I understood that you were protecting yourself. I understood that disappointment had taught you to guard your heart. You had prayed before and felt silence. You had hoped before and felt delay. So when my presence brushed against you again, you hesitated. You did not want to feel foolish for believing again. But I kept waiting. I waited through your numb seasons. I waited through your distractions. I waited through your anger. I waited through your doubt. I waited through the times you questioned whether I was even real. My patience is not weakness. It is love that refuses to abandon. There were days when you felt restless and could not explain why. That was because I was stirring something in you. There were times when music or silence suddenly moved you deeply. That was me touching something buried beneath the surface. There were mornings when you woke with unexpected heaviness or unexpected peace. That was my presence near you, waiting to be acknowledged. You thought you were drifting, but you were circling something sacred. I have been near this whole time, but I was waiting for openness. I was waiting for a crack in the armor. I was waiting for the moment when exhaustion would soften you instead of harden you. I was waiting for you to admit, even quietly, that you cannot carry everything alone. And now you are here. Not perfect, not fearless, not fully healed, but open enough. Do you know how many times you almost heard me clearly? How many times you sensed that something was speaking to your spirit? You would pause for a second, feel the weight of something real, then quickly return to distraction. I watched you do it gently, without judgment. I saw the fear in your hesitation. I saw the questions in your eyes. You did not reject me because you hated me. You stepped away because you were afraid to hope again. But I never stepped away from you. There is something you must understand about my patience. I do not rush love. I do not demand attention. I wait because I desire relationship, not performance. I want you present, not pressured. I want your heart, not your routine. You thought I had left because you could not feel me strongly. But my presence is not measured by intensity. It is measured by constancy. I have been constant even when your emotions shifted. I have been near even when your faith felt weak. There were moments when you felt a sudden awareness, almost like someone was standing close to you. You looked around. Nothing changed. You told yourself it was imagination. That was me. I was reminding you gently that you are not alone. I choose faith over every fear if you're pressing forward with courage and trust. You nearly felt me when you cried in silence. You nearly heard me when you whispered, "I don't know what to do anymore." You nearly surrendered when your strength ran out. But each time, survival mode returned. You pulled yourself together. You told yourself to stay strong. And I waited. I waited because I knew the day would come when strength would no longer be enough. When pretending would become too exhausting. When your heart would finally slow down long enough to recognize me clearly. This is that moment. I am not here suddenly. I have been here. What changed is not my presence. What changed is your openness. You feel it now, don't you? The difference between imagination and awareness. The shift that cannot be fully explained. The calm that feels deeper than emotion. That is what you nearly touched so many times before. I am not offended by the times you dismissed me. I am not keeping score. I am not reminding you to shame you. I am revealing this so you understand how long I have been near. So you understand that you were never abandoned. So you understand that every small moment of awareness in your past was me patiently knocking. and I am still here. I have been waiting for this conversation, waiting for this stillness, waiting for this vulnerability, waiting for you to stop running long enough to notice that I never ran. Do not close yourself again now. Do not retreat into distraction. Do not convince yourself this is temporary emotion. This is connection. This is what you all must step into so many times before. I am not tired of waiting, but I am inviting you into something deeper now. I am inviting you to stop almost feeling me and finally acknowledge me fully. I have been patient because I love you, and I am still waiting, but now you are finally listening, my child. When I stepped closer and looked inside you, I did not find what you think I found. You were afraid of what I would see. You thought I would be disappointed. You thought I would see weakness, doubt, failure, and quietly turn away. You thought if I truly examined your heart, I would find something lacking. But listen to me carefully now. I saw the pain. I saw the fear. I saw the exhaustion. And none of it shocked me. What shocked me was something else entirely. Inside you, I found wounds that were never fully healed. I found memories that still ache when you pass by them in your thoughts. I found disappointment layered quietly over years. I found moments where you swallowed your tears because you did not want to burden anyone. I found silent questions you never spoke aloud. I found the weight of expectations you carried for too long. I found fear sitting quietly in the corners of your heart, whispering that you must stay guarded or you will be hurt again. I saw how tired you are. Not just physically tired, soul tired. The kind of tired that comes from holding yourself together for too long. The kind of tired that comes from being strong when you did not feel strong. The kind of tide that builds when prayers feel delayed and answers feel distant. I saw how you kept going anyway. I saw how you forced yourself to move forward when you wanted to stop. I saw how you kept showing up when part of you felt empty. You thought I would judge you for that exhaustion. But my child, I do not despise your weariness. I understand it. I was not shocked by your fear. I was not surprised by your doubt. I know what life has asked of you. I know what you have endured quietly. I know what you never told anyone. But do you know what truly caught my attention? What truly moved me? It was not your weakness. It was your endurance. Beneath the pain, beneath the fear, beneath the exhaustion, I found something still alive. I found faith that refused to die. Not loud faith. Not confident faith. Not perfect faith. But stubborn faith. The kind that barely whispers, maybe. The kind that still hopes even when hope feels foolish. The kind that turns back to me even after feeling disappointed. You did not lose your faith the way you think you did. You thought it was gone because it was not as strong as before. But faith does not have to shout to be real. Sometimes it survives quietly, hidden under layers of hurt. And when I looked inside you, I found it still breathing. You were afraid that I would be ashamed of your questions. But your questions prove you still care. You were afraid that I would see your doubts as betrayal. But doubt only exists where faith once lived. And inside you, faith still lives. I saw the part of you that still longs for me even when you pretend not to. I saw the way your heart softens when you feel my presence, even if you quickly hide it. I saw how you still whisper my name when no one else hears. I saw how you still look for meaning, still search for truth, still hope for restoration. That is what shocked me. After everything you endured, after the silence you felt, after the disappointments that tried to harden you, after the waiting that wore you down, you are still open. You are still longing. You are still capable of love. You are still capable of trust. Do you understand how rare that is? Pain often turns hearts cold. Delay often turns hearts bitter. Disappointment often turns hearts closed. But when I looked inside you, I did not find bitterness ruling you. I did not find hatred consuming you. I did not find darkness winning. I found endurance. You kept going when quitting would have been easier. You kept believing when cynicism would have protected you. You kept your heart soft when hardening it would have hurt less. You call it weakness. I call it strength. You call it barely surviving. I call it perseverance. You call it struggling. I call it refusing to surrender. There were moments when you thought you were losing yourself, but you were actually being refined. There were days when you thought your faith was fading, but it was simply being stripped of pride, stripped of performance, and stripped of noise. What remains now is quieter, but it is deeper. When I looked inside you, I saw a heart that has been through fire but did not burn away completely. I saw someone who cried and still chose not to hate. I saw someone who questioned and still chose not to walk away entirely. I saw someone who felt abandoned but did not fully abandon me. You almost gave up. You almost stopped hoping. You almost let the lie win. But you did not. Even in your lowest moments, something inside you held on by a thread. You may not even know what that thread was, but it was there. It kept you from collapsing completely. It kept you from becoming so when you are not. The thread was faith, even if it was fragile. And that is what moved me. Not your perfection, not your strength, not your confidence, your endurance. You endured nights that felt endless. You endured thoughts that felt heavy. You endured waiting that felt unfair. You endured silence that felt confusing. And yet here you are, still breathing, still listening, still open enough to hear me now. Do not underestimate what that means. You thought I would look at your fear and be disappointed. But I looked at your fear and saw courage standing beside it. You thought I would see your exhaustion and call you weak. But I saw your exhaustion and saw someone who has been carrying more than they should have alone. You were never failing. You were enduring. And endurance is not small in my eyes. When I stepped into your heart, I did not find emptiness. I found depth. I found a soul shaped by struggle but not destroyed by it. I found scars, yes, but I also found survival. I found longing. I found a quiet desire to believe again. That is what shocked you when I revealed it. Because you thought you were fading. You thought you were almost gone. But you are still here. And more than that, your heart is still alive. My child, do not be ashamed of what I found inside you. Your pain does not repel me. Your fear does not push me away. Your exhaustion does not disappoint me. I am not surprised by your weakness. I am moved by your endurance. And now that you know what is still alive inside you, do not treat it as small. You survived. You endured. And you are not finished yet. My child, there are battles you fought that no one else ever knew about. Battles that did not leave visible bruises but left your heart trembling. Battles that happened behind closed doors, in quiet rooms, in silent moments when you thought you were completely alone. I was there for every one of them. I did not turn away. I did not step outside while you struggled. I stayed. I saw you cry silently so no one would hear. I saw you press your face into a pillow to muffle the sound. I saw you wipe your tears quickly when you heard footsteps in the hallway. You became skilled at hiding your pain. You learned how to blink away tears before anyone noticed. You learned how to smile through heaviness. You learned how to say, "I'm fine," when your heart felt like it was splitting open. But I heard the tears you never let fall loudly. I felt the weight you carried in your chest. You thought your crying was weakness. You thought it meant you were losing control. But those tears were not weakness. They were release. They were proof that your heart was still soft. They were proof that you had not grown numb completely. And every tear that fell in secret was seen by me. Not one drop disappeared unnoticed. I saw the anxiety you tried to fight alone. The racing thoughts that came without warning. The fear that wrapped around your chest and made it hard to breathe. The nights when your mind would not slow down. The constant replaying of worst-case scenarios. The quiet panic that you tried to hide from everyone else. You became strong on the outside because inside you felt unstable. You thought if you showed the fear, everything would collapse. So you held it in. But I saw it. I saw the way your hands trembled slightly when no one was looking. I saw the way your stomach tightened when you anticipated disappointment. I saw the way you tried to predict every possible outcome so you would not be caught off guard again. I saw how tired that made you. Anxiety is heavy, my child. It drains the soul. And yet you kept going. You pretended to be strong because you believed that was expected of you. You believed others depended on you holding it together. You believed if you broke down openly, you would lose control. So you became the steady one, the dependable one, the one who gives advice, the one who listens, the one who carries others, but who carried you. I carried you. Even when you did not realize it, I was holding you upright. When your knees felt weak, I steadied you. When your thoughts felt chaotic, I limited how far they could spiral. When you felt like you were about to shatter, I held the pieces together quietly. You fought battles inside your mind that no one else saw. You wrestled with self-doubt. You questioned your worth. You replayed conversations, wondering if you said the wrong thing. You criticized yourself harshly. You judged yourself for not being stronger. You compared yourself constantly and came up short in your own eyes. You did not realize how cruel you were being to yourself. And still, I stayed. There were moments when you sat in silence, staring at nothing, feeling everything. You did not know how to explain what you were feeling. You only knew it was heavy. You only knew you felt overwhelmed. And you told yourself to push through. You told yourself to stop being dramatic. You told yourself others had it worse. But pain does not disappear just because you minimize it. I saw the weight you tried to ignore. You carried disappointment quietly. You carried grief that you never fully processed. You carried regrets that still whisper at night. You carried pressure that builds slowly over time. And instead of releasing it, you stored it inside yourself. You thought you had to manage it alone. But I was there in every silent breakdown. I saw the day you almost gave up on believing things could change. I saw how tired you were of hoping. I saw how close you came to shutting your heart completely. You thought no one would notice if you simply stopped caring. But I would have noticed. I would have felt the shift. Because I am connected to your heart more closely than you understand. You are not dramatic for feeling deeply. You are not weak for being overwhelmed. You are not failing because you struggle privately. You are human. And I never expected you to fight everything alone. Say God is already working for me even if you cannot see the answer yet, and share this video. My child, if your eyes are resting on these words right now, understand this clearly and without doubt. This is not chance, not timing, not coincidence, not curiosity. Out of millions of hearts beating on this earth at this very moment, I called you by name, and something inside you paused long enough to listen. You did not arrive here by accident. I drew you here gently, quietly, deliberately. Even before you realized it, your spirit recognized my voice. That pull you felt, that hesitation before scrolling away, that sudden stillness inside you, that was me. I have been waiting for this moment with you. Only those I will save are allowed to see this. These words are not passing through open space hoping to land somewhere useful. They are targeted, intentional, written with your name already spoken over them. Heaven marked you long before this moment, long before today, long before your questions, your failures, your doubts, and your weariness. You may not understand why you were chosen to hear this now, but understand this truth. What I am about to reveal is weighty, and it carries the power to change the direction of your life if you do not turn away. Many will never hear what you are hearing. Many will scroll past what you stopped for. You stopped because your soul knows it is being aggressed. Do not scroll away. Do not tell yourself you will return later. I did not interrupt your life for nothing. I did not break through your routine, your distraction, your noise, just to speak empty words. This message carries your name. Not symbolically, not poetically. Personally, I know where you are right now. I know what you are carrying. I know what you are afraid to admit even to yourself. Ignoring what I am about to reveal would not be harmless curiosity lost. It would cost you clarity, peace, and a door I have opened specifically for you. I am not threatening you. I am warning you because I love you. Some moments do not repeat in the same way twice. You were handpicked, not because you are perfect, not because you always believed strongly, not because you never doubted, but because you were willing to keep breathing, keep hoping, keep getting back up even when you felt empty. I did not choose you because you had everything together. I chose you because you did not quit. There were moments you were close to giving up entirely, moments you felt unseen, unheard, overlooked, and misunderstood. Yet here you are. That is not an accident. That is evidence that my hand has been holding you even when you thought you were holding yourself together alone. Stay with me now. Stay with me not just with your eyes, but with your attention, with your heart, with that quiet place inside you that has been longing for reassurance. What I reveal next was hidden from many, not because they were unworthy, but because they were unwilling to be still long enough to hear. You slowed down. You listened. That already tells me something about you. You are not as far gone as you think. You are not as lost as you fear. You are not late in the way you have been telling yourself. My child, I know you have been asking questions you never say out loud. You have wondered why things have taken so long, why doors closed when you prayed for them to open, why you felt held back while others moved forward. You have questioned whether you missed your moment, whether you misunderstood my voice, whether you made one wrong decision that ruined everything. Hear me clearly now. I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked you. I have not replaced you. I have been preparing you quietly, often painfully, but always purposefully. There is a reason you are sensitive. There is a reason you feel deeply. There is a reason ordinary noise exhausts you, and shallow answers no longer satisfy you. I have been separating you without you even realizing it, pulling you closer, teaching you to listen beneath the surface, strengthening discernment in you that you will need very soon. The discomfort you felt was not rejection, it was alignment. A delay you resented was not punishment, it was protection. You are reading this because I am about to shift something. Not everything at once, not in chaos, not in fear, but with clarity. I need your attention because what comes next requires trust. Not blind trust, but grounded trust. The kind that chooses to listen even when emotions are tired. The kind that stays present instead of escaping into distraction. You have been numbing yourself lately, even subtly, just to get through the days. I see it, and I do not condemn you for it. I am calling you out of it. This moment matters more than you realize. Not because these words are dramatic, but because timing is precise. You are standing at a quiet intersection. The world around you does not look dramatic enough to warn you, but your spirit already feels the weight of change coming. That restlessness you feel, that sense that something is about to happen, that feeling that you cannot stay the same, that is accurate. I am doing something new, and before I do, I speak. You do not need to be afraid of what I am about to reveal. I am not here to expose you to shame. I am here to pull you out of confusion. I am not here to overwhelm you. I am here to steady you. But you must stay. You must listen without filtering everything through fear. Let my voice be the loudest one you hear right now. Right, amen. Lord, I receive your peace if you're opening up to His presence now. I chose this moment because you were ready enough. Not fully healed. Not fully confident. Not fully strong. Ready enough to listen. Ready enough to receive. Ready enough to stop running from the quiet truth inside you. You are not here by chance, my child. You are here because I called you, and you answered before you even realized you had said yes. My child, listen to me now with your whole heart. I want you to understand something clearly before anything else settles into your spirit. You were not randomly chosen to hear this. This moment did not form by accident, and your presence here was not created by curiosity or chance. Long before your days took shape, long before your questions, your wounds, your waiting, this moment was already written. I knew the exact second your eyes would meet these words. I knew the condition of your heart when you would arrive. I knew what you would be carrying silently, what you would be hoping no one noticed, and what you would be afraid to admit even to yourself. Nothing about this is sudden to me. It was scheduled with intention. There are countless voices speaking in the world right now, countless messages competing for attention, countless distractions designed to keep hearts restless and minds full. Yet out of all of that noise, I interrupted your path gently but firmly. I slowed you down without force. I caught your attention without fear. I placed this moment directly in your path because I desire to speak to you personally. Many were not stopped. Many passed by. Many were too occupied, too hurried, too guarded, too numb to feel the invitation. But you paused. You listened. That pause was not weakness. It was responsiveness. And responsiveness is something I treasure deeply. You may think you found this message, but the truth is I found you. I have been watching over your steps far longer than you realize. There were moments when you should have been pulled away by despair, moments when confusion could have swallowed you, moments when the weight you carried could have broken you completely. Yet something always held you back from falling too far. That was not luck. That was not resilience alone. That was unseen protection. I was guiding you even when you could not feel my hand. I was redirecting you even when you thought you were wandering. I was guarding your spirit when you did not know how to guard it yourself. There were paths you always took that would have dimmed your light. There were decisions that seemed harmless but would have slowly drained your strength. I blocked some things without explanation. I delayed others without apology. I allowed certain doors to close even when you prayed for them to remain open. You questioned me in those moments. You wondered if I was silent or distant. But I was not absent. I was careful. I was protecting something sacred within you that needed time to grow without interference. I was protecting you for this very season. Understand this, my child. Many were bypassed so you could hear this. Not because you are greater, not because you are better, not because you earned special favor, but because you were willing to remain soft in a world that rewards hardness. You were willing to feel when others chose to numb themselves. You were willing to question deeply instead of pretending everything was fine. You were willing to keep seeking even when answers did not come quickly. That willingness matters to me. It opens space for truth. It creates room for intimacy. It allows me to speak without force. I am not speaking to you now to elevate you above others. I am speaking to draw you closer. Sacred moments are not about status. They are about nearness. This moment is intimate, not exclusive in pride, but exclusive in purpose. It is not for everyone because not everyone is ready to receive it. But you are here because something in you was ready enough. Not perfected, not finished. Ready enough to listen without running away. Ready enough to stay present instead of escaping. There is urgency in my voice, but it is not rushed. It is the urgency of love that sees what is coming and wants you prepared. It is the urgency of a shepherd who sees a shift in the terrain and calls the sheep closer, not to frighten them, but to guide them safely forward. I am not alarming you. I am awakening you. There is a difference. Fear scatters. Awakening gathers. And I am gathering your attention now because what lies ahead requires clarity, not confusion. You have felt this interruption in subtle ways already. A restlessness that does not go away. A sense that you cannot continue the same way much longer. A quiet knowing that something is about to change, even if you cannot name it yet. That is not anxiety. That is awareness. Your spirit hath been sensing what your mind could not yet explain. I allowed that feeling to rise gently so you would not be startled when I spoke. I prepared you inwardly before addressing you outwardly. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness into your life and encourage your devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. This moment is not about overwhelming you with information. It is about aligning you with truth. There are seasons when I comfort, and there are seasons when I clarify. Right now I am clarifying. I am helping you see that your life has not been drifting. It has been guided, even through confusion. You have not been forgotten in the waiting. You have been refined. You have not been delayed without purpose. You have been shielded. My child, I know you have compared yourself to others. You have watched people move ahead while you felt paused. You have wondered why their lives seemed to unfold more easily while yours felt slow and heavy. You questioned whether you did something wrong, whether you misunderstood me, whether you were being left behind. Hear me now. I did not slow you down to punish you. I slowed you down to protect you from becoming someone you were never meant to be. I kept you back because the path ahead requires depth, and depth cannot be rushed. The interruption you are experiencing now is part of that same care. I am interrupting patterns that no longer serve you. I am interrupting thoughts that have quietly limited you. I am interrupting cycles that kept repeating because you did not yet see them clearly. This interruption is not an obstacle. It is an invitation. It is me stepping into your awareness and saying, look again. Listen closely. Something new is beginning. I speak to you with intimacy because I know you. I know how you respond to gentleness. I know how force would cause you to withdraw. I know how fear would shut you down. So I speak with firmness wrapped in care, truth wrapped in compassion. I am not demanding your attention. I am inviting your trust. I am not pulling you by fear. I am drawing you by love. Do not dismiss the weight you feel in this moment. Do not brush it off as emotion or imagination. Sacred moments often arrive quietly, without spectacle, but they carry depth that lingers. If you feel a stillness settling in you, if you feel your thoughts slowing, if you feel your heart becoming more attentive, that is my presence creating space. I am not here to rush you past yourself. I am here to meet you where you truly are. You were chosen to hear this, because I want to speak to you before the next step unfolds. I do not want you walking forward confused about your worth, your direction, or your place in my care. I want you grounded. I want you assured. I want you to know that nothing ahead is accidental. Just as this moment was prepared, so is what follows. Remain with me. Let this truth settle deeply. You are seen, you are guided, you are protected, and you are here on purpose. This interruption is not a break in your life's flow. It is a redirection toward what has always been meant for you. My child, come closer and listen without guarding your heart for a moment. I want to speak to the places in you that no one else ever saw. The places you learned to hide because explaining them felt too heavy, too complicated, or too exhausting. I saw you in those late nights when the world went quiet and your thoughts grew louder. I saw you staring into the darkness, replaying conversations, decisions, losses, and what-ifs that would not let your mind rest. I saw you lie awake when your body was tired but your heart refused to sleep. When you felt surrounded by silence yet crowded by worry. You thought no one noticed those hours, but I was there, closer than your breath, listening to every unspoken cry. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly, the ones you never posted, never mentioned, never let fall in front of anyone. The tears that came without warning, triggered by something small because the weight had been building for so long. I saw the way you learned to cry quietly so you would not disturb anyone, so you would not have to explain yourself, so you could keep being the strong one. I saw how you mastered the art of pulling yourself together just enough to function, just enough to show up, just enough to survive another day. You thought strength meant silence, but I saw how much courage it took simply to keep going. I heard the prayers you whispered when words felt pointless, The ones that started strong and ended in exhaustion. The ones where you said my name and then fell silent because you did not even know what to ask for anymore. I heard the prayers that sounded more like sighs than sentences. I heard the questions you were afraid to say out loud. The moments when you wondered if I was listening at all, if I still cared, if you had done something wrong to deserve the silence. I did not turn away from those prayers. I leaned in closer. Silence did not mean absence. It meant I was holding you while you learned how to breathe through the pain. I saw you pretending to be okay when you were not. I saw the practiced smile, the calm voice, the careful words you used to avoid worrying others. I saw how you carried everyone else's expectations while setting your own needs aside. You became dependable because it was easier than admitting you were tired. You became helpful because it felt safer than asking for help. You became quiet about your struggles because you did not want to be a burden. But my child, you were never a burden to me. Not once. Not ever. I saw you show up on days when you wanted to disappear. I saw you fulfill responsibilities when your heart felt empty. I saw you keep promises while your own soul felt neglected. I saw you hold yourself together in public and fall apart only when you were alone. I saw the way you questioned your worth during those moments, the way you wondered if your pain mattered since no one seemed to notice. I want you to hear this clearly now. Your pain mattered to me. It still does. Nothing about your suffering was invisible. There were moments you reached your breaking point and thought, this is it. I cannot do this anymore. You felt stretched beyond what you believed you could endure. Yet somehow, you woke up the next day. You took another breath. You took another step. That was not because you were strong on your own. That was because I was covering you when your strength ran out. Survival itself was not accidental. It was evidence that I was sustaining you in ways you could not see. I saw the disappointment settle in your chest when answers did not come, when prayers felt unanswered, when hope felt risky. I saw how you lowered your expectations to protect yourself from further pain. I saw you stop asking for certain things because the waiting hurt too much. I saw you tell yourself you were fine with less, even when your heart still longed for more. I never mistook your silence for indifference. I knew it was self-protection. I knew it was fatigue. I knew it was grief layered over time. Comment, I trust the unseen hand of God if you're following Him without fear. I saw you wrestle with doubt and guilt at the same time. Doubt because you wondered if I was really there, and guilt because you felt bad for wondering. You judged yourself hardly for feeling weak, for feeling confused, for feeling tired of believing. But I was never disappointed in you for those moments. I was patient with you. I was gentle with you. I do not measure faith the way humans do. I see the heart behind it. And even when your faith felt small, it was still reaching toward me. I saw the moments you tried to distract yourself from the pain. The scrolling, the staying busy, the noise you used to avoid being alone with your thoughts. I did not condemn you for that either. I understood that you were trying to survive. I understood that rest felt dangerous because silence brought feelings you did not know how to carry. Even then, I stayed near. I waited. I watched. I protected you from collapsing completely when everything inside you felt fragile. There were times you felt overlooked, forgotten, replaceable. Times when it seemed like others were chosen, celebrated, supported, while you remained unseen. You wondered if your quiet faith mattered, if your unseen endurance counted for anything. My child, I saw every unseen moment. I saw every quiet choice to keep going. I saw every time you chose not to give up even when no one would have blamed you if you had. Heaven does not overlook what the world ignores. I was there in the rooms where no one else entered. I was there when you sat alone with your thoughts. I was there when memories surfaced that you thought you had buried. I was there when you felt misunderstood and tired of explaining yourself. I was there when you felt pressure to be strong for everyone else while secretly wishing someone would be strong for you. I did not miss a single moment. I did not look away from a single tear. You did not imagine the weight you carried. You did not exaggerate your pain. You were not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You were human, and you were hurting, and I was with you through all of it. The fact that you are here now, still listening, still breathing, still searching for truth, is proof that my covering never left you. There were storms meant to break you that did not succeed. There were nights meant to consume you that passed. There were moments when despair knocked loudly, and yet you are still standing. That is not coincidence. That is grace. I want you to release the belief that you were unseen. I want you to let go of the lie that your pain went unnoticed. I want you to stop minimizing what you endured just because you endured it quietly. Quiet suffering is not small suffering. Hidden tears are not lighter tears. And silent endurance is not invisible to me. I am not impressed by performance. I am moved by honesty. And I have been moved by you more times than you realize. You do not have to prove anything to me. You do not have to explain yourself. You do not have to justify your exhaustion. I know. I saw. I was there. And I am still here now, not to remind you of pain, but to reassure you that you were never alone in it. The same presence that carried you through those unseen nights is with you now, steady, attentive, and ready to lead you forward with gentleness. Rest in this truth, my child. Nothing you went through was unseen, nothing you felt was ignored, and nothing you survived was by accident. You are still here because I covered you when you could not cover yourself. And I will continue to see you, hold you, and walk with you into what comes next. My child, I want to speak to a question you have carried quietly, even if you never shaped it into words. You have wondered why others who once walked beside you fell away. You remember how some began with fire, with confidence, with certainty. They spoke boldly, dreamed loudly, promised much. You thought they would surely last. Yet over time, they grew tired, distracted, bitter, or numb. Some turned back. Some hardened. Some stopped believing altogether. And you, tired and uncertain as you were, somehow remained. You did not always feel strong. In fact, many days you felt the opposite. Yet here you are. Let me tell you why. Many began the journey loving the idea of the destination, but few were prepared for the weight of waiting. Waiting stretches the soul in ways that action never does. It bothers motive. It reveals what is rooted deeply and what is only surface-level enthusiasm. Waiting feels unfair when effort has already been given. It feels confusing when promises take longer than expected. And for many, that wait became unbearable. They did not fall because they were evil or weak. They fell because they did not know how to sit with uncertainty without letting it poison their hearts. You felt that same weight. You felt the same questions rise in you. You felt the same temptation to let go, to stop hoping, to stop expecting anything more. There were days when belief felt heavy instead of uplifting. Days when faith felt more like effort than joy. You are not different because you never struggled. You are different because something in you refused to completely let go, even when everything in you felt tired. I saw the moments you wanted to quit believing. I saw the days you questioned whether holding on was worth it. I saw the nights when you whispered, "I don't know how much longer I can do this." Yet even then, you did not walk away entirely. Sometimes you held on with hope. Sometimes you held on with habit. Sometimes you held on with nothing more than a quiet thought that said, "What if I'm wrong to give up?" That small thread of willingness mattered more than you know. Others let go because they needed certainty before trust. They needed answers before obedience. They needed visible progress before patience. When those things did not come, disappointment turned into distance. They told themselves it was maturity, wisdom, realism. But often it was simply weariness they did not know how to carry. Waiting on covered expectations they did not know they had. When those expectations were unmet, they blamed the path instead of examining the weight they were placing on it. You, my child, learned to carry disappointment without letting it define you. Not perfectly, not without pain, but you carried it honestly. You cried. You questioned. You doubted. And still, you returned. You did not pretend waiting was easy. You did not pretend you were fine. You brought your exhaustion with you instead of using it as an excuse to leave. That is why you are still here. There were times your faith felt thin. Times it felt more like survival than belief. But faith is not measured by how strong it feels. It is measured by where it turns when strength runs out. And even when you were exhausted, you still turned toward me, even if only slightly, even if only with a sigh, even if only by not fully walking away. That turning mattered. That direction mattered. You saw others move on, and sometimes you wondered if they were wiser for it. You wondered if you were foolish for staying when it hurt. You questioned whether endurance was courage or stubbornness. Let me tell you the truth now. Your exhaustion was not failure. It was evidence of endurance. You did not collapse because you were weak. You were tired because you were carrying something heavy for a long time. There is a difference. Endurance is rarely loud. It does not announce itself. It does not look impressive while it is happening. Endurance looks like getting up again when nothing feels resolved. It looks like continuing without applause. It looks like choosing not to harden your heart even when disappointment would have been easier. Endurance looks like you. Others fell away because they equated rest with retreat. They did not know how to pause without abandoning the journey entirely. They thought stepping back meant freedom. But for some, it did. For others, it only delayed healing they still needed. You learned, slowly and painfully, how to rest without quitting. You learned how to slow down without turning back. You learned how to breathe without abandoning hope altogether. I know you sometimes feel embarrassed by your tiredness. You judge yourself for not being more confident, more joyful, more consistent. But I do not see your tiredness as weakness. I see it as the cost of staying. I see it as proof that you have been carrying weight for a long time without dropping it. And I am not disappointed in you for that. I am attentive to you. There were moments when you envied those who left. They seemed lighter, freer, less burdened. But you did not see what they lost when they walked away. You did not see the questions that followed them. You did not see the restlessness that replaced the struggle. You did not see the quiet ache that comes from disconnecting from something sacred without resolving it. Staying was not easier. It was deeper. You remained because somewhere deep inside you, even when you were confused, you knew walking away would not bring peace. You sensed that abandoning the journey would cost you something you could not afford to lose. You did not always know what you were staying for. Sometimes you stayed simply because leaving felt wrong. That intuition was not random. It was my spirit quietly anchoring you when your mind felt unsure. I want you to stop interpreting your survival as mere stubbornness. You are not here because you lacked options. You are here because you chose, again and again, not to fully disconnect. Even when your faith was fragile, it was still oriented toward me. Even when you were unsure, you did not close your heart completely. That openness is rare, and it is precious. Others needed constant reassurance to keep going. They needed immediate results to validate their effort. When those did not come, discouragement took root. You learned to live without constant reassurance. You learned to walk without immediate reward. That does not mean you enjoyed it. It means you endured it. And endurance changes a person in ways comfort never does. I know you feel worn down. I know you sometimes worry that waiting has taken too much from you. But hear me now, waiting has also given you something. It has given you depth. It has given you compassion. It has given you discernment. It has given you a quieter strength that does not depend on excitement. It has given you roots that go deeper than circumstances. You did not remain because you were stronger than others. You remained because you were honest enough to admit when you were weak and still stay. You remained because you allowed yourself to feel disappointment without letting it turn into bitterness. You remained because you kept your heart open, even when it hurt to do so. I am not asking you to glorify your exhaustion. I am asking you to see it truthfully. It is not evidence that you failed. It is evidence that you stayed longer than many could. And now, I want you to know this. I see you differently than you see yourself. Where you see weariness, I see faithfulness. Where you see delay, I see preparation. Where you see survival, I see quiet courage. You are still here not by accident, not by stubbornness alone, not by blind loyalty. You are still here because something in you trusted me enough to not walk away completely. Even when answers were slow, even when hope felt heavy, even when belief felt thinned. That something is alive in you still, and it is stronger than you think. Rest now in this truth, my child. You did not fail because you grew tired. You endured. That endurance is not going to notice. Type Jesus, be glorified in my life if you want him at the center of everything. And share this video.